So before I get started, I wanted to quickly explain to you the reason behind the name of my channel, which is called 99% Fit. So initially, when I started on my journey, I didn't have any way of figuring out how to navigate a situation of, being overweight and, not having a way out of like, how do you lose that kind of weight? I've gone up and down in weight as an athlete, but not as a father, not as a husband, not as somebody who doesn't do sports anymore. That presented a whole different set of problems that I wasn't prepared to handle. So what I did was I had no place to go, but I went to the internet. So I got on YouTube and I just I was looking for motivation. So that's where my journey started. I just needed something to motivate me to actually want to get back up and, get back into it again. Even with 24 years of previously working out, like I worked out my whole life since I was 14 years old. And this was the only point in time where I just didn't feel like getting back up. And when I found this motivation, I got addicted to it. And then they were saying these things that I had never heard before, like personal development. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So, and I went down this rabbit hole of like all these different methodologies and different things that you can do, changing a routine and all these things. Like, I knew what discipline was because my dad showed me what discipline was. My parents showed me what discipline was. So I am very familiar with that. But to hone this as an adult and like to know what path that you're gonna go on, it's a whole different ball game when you find out what you can do and the things that you're capable of when you set a direction for yourself. So the whole reason behind the name of 99% Fit is I've taken all these methodologies of like the 1% people, all the people from the internet that like try to show you all these things or different bits and pieces of information, and I've changed them to fit my life. I've changed so many different things about my life, and since I've just compiled all this information into one place, I just want to share it. Like, it has changed everything. And I just want to share that with you. So what I've done, you can get there so much faster than I did because I failed so much. And I don't want you to do the same thing because we are in our 40s or 50s, or however old you are. You don't have time to go all over the place to look for a bit of information or a bit of truth. So I just want to bring that truth to you in the best way that I know how. And that's the reason for the naming of 99% Fit. I take 1% people methodologies and I've shaped it to fit my life. And I want to help you do the same thing. It's on. All right. So now that I got that out of the way, next thing is, how did I get my arms this big? Well, I'm going to tell you in one simple phrase: big arms, big paychecks. Now, what does that mean? Now, this is something that my coach used to tell me, or used to tell us as a team when I was 14 years old. The first time that I played football, he used to say this all the time: big arms, big paychecks. Now, what does that mean? So at that time, it didn't really mean much, but okay, so I'm chasing my dream to, play in the NFL. So what that means is people in the NFL, they have big arms and they make a lot of money. So big arms equals big paychecks. So that's what it meant to me as a kid. So that meaning has evolved a little bit over time. And now it means something a little bit deeper. So big arms. So how do you even get big arms in the first place? So what it takes is it's going to take a little bit of dedication. It's going to take, doing things that you don't want to do, but doing them anyway. It's going to take a long period of time. Like, there is not a single person out here that can tell you when your arms are going to look big to you or they're going to look big to somebody else. There's not a person that can tell you that. It just happens over time and it just appears. Like, believe me, don't believe me, but it just, there's somebody that's going to acknowledge it before you do, that you're bigger now or you got big arms. It took me a while too. But anyway, so the dedication that it takes to get big arms is the exact same principles that it takes to apply. You can apply those same principles to anything in your life. And that's the funny thing. I didn't realize that because you do the same thing. That's why working out has so many other benefits that you don't even realize that, we all look at it as something, on the exterior, what people look at. And that is the thing that we shouldn't even look at it for. That's like the bare minimum, or you're just barely scratching the surface of what working out does for you. Everything that it does for you, like you can apply those same principles to everything in your life. And that's what a lot of people don't even realize, is that it's actually helping you become a better person just by working out. The dedication that it takes to work out consistently over a long period of time are the exact same principles that you can apply to everything. And that's the key. So in short, that's how you get it. But now really what you're looking for is the techniques that I use, right? All right, so I want to show you that. So it's a couple of different principles, and let me lay it out for you. So the reason for this is because I was presented with a lot of different problems. I didn't have time anymore because I had a kid, I had a wife. I was usually single, and I had maybe an hour and a half to work out. Now that got reduced to 30 minutes or less. So that presented me with a problem. I needed to, so that let me know I needed to move fast. All right. First problem, I got to go fast. How do you do that and still get a good workout? Well, I don't want to do like anything CrossFit because those people get hurt a lot. So I don't want to do anything crazy. So I have to continue thinking. The next problem is I don't want to lose my size. So how do you maintain your size and you have to move fast? There's another problem. And then also, how am I going to get a good workout in 30 minutes, combining all this stuff together? How am I going to make this stuff happen? So I got creative. All right, here's what I came up with. All right, so I move fast and I have a moderate amount of weight, and I put it together in a way that I can maintain my size, and it helps me lose a ton of weight because it's so efficient. Now, let me show you some of the principles that I use, and you can pretty much apply this to any kind of workout that you do. It's just the way that you do. It's not necessarily the lifts that you do, but it's the way that you do the lifts, if that makes sense. All right, so I don't want to make you think that my workouts are special, but the things that I apply to my workouts, I consider that pretty special. So let me explain. So the reason why I had to come up with something different is mainly because I didn't have time to do it any other way. So normally I would have maybe an hour and a half to work out, but when you start getting things like a family, kids, you tend to like shorten that period of time until it becomes an inconvenience, and then you don't do it at all. But I didn't want to do that because, I had 24 years of prior experience of working out. I've been working out since I was 14 years old. And because I had so many different life changes, it took me to a point to where I just couldn't work out, or I felt like I didn't have enough time. But I wanted to get it back, so I found out a different way to do it. So the problems I had were I didn't have time. So I needed to shorten the amount of time. So if I don't have time, that means I need to increase the speed. But I don't want to go so fast that I don't even get a good workout in, because I don't like lifting light weights, because I'm not trying to get skinny. I want to keep my size. So I need to do something that's heavier weight and faster, and I want to still get a good workout in. So how do you accomplish those three things? Okay, so the first thing that I tackle is getting more bang for my buck, keeping my weight on, keeping the muscle that I had intact. So I looked all over the place, and the thing that I found that worked best for me is called time under tension. Now, if you're not aware of what time under tension is, it's essentially just keeping your muscle under tension for longer periods of time. And the reason why you want to do this is just gives you more bang for your buck. The longer it's under tension, the more burn that's going to get. So that accomplished the working out part that I didn't have time. So I increased the time that is under the tension, giving me the same amount of benefit that I'm looking for. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I just want to maintain the muscle I have and maybe just drop some fat in the meantime. So this is something that was very, very beneficial for me. So if you're wondering how to do time under tension, I'll show you now. So essentially, I do time under tension, and I also do very strict form just to make sure that the muscles get as much burn as possible. So I would turn my arms out, and just for my curls, just when I'm doing like my arm day, for example, I'm going up and very slow down. And if you want to see from the side, and I try to do it as strict as possible. Sometimes I have to check my form and maybe drop the weight a little bit, but I like to start off as heavy as possible and just kind of work my way down. So when you take that and then you combine it with moving at a faster pace with moderate weight, now you got yourself a masterpiece. So if you are looking for a way to get a lot of stuff in a little bit of time, try time under tension. I guarantee you are going to be shocked at the results you can get in the amount of time that you can get it in. And also, if you like videos like this about like different techniques that I like to use, or different workouts that I like to do, then just feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what kind of body parts are troubling you, and I can tell you if there's something that I can specifically help you with, or give you the workout that I do to strengthen or to keep that body part strong. So. So if you like this, so that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much it. Just to wrap it up, what you want to do is you want to apply time under tension. You want to go at a faster pace. So what that means is just that you have shorter recovery time. So I usually have a recovery time from 30 to 45 seconds, no longer than a minute, just to get, to change the weights out or just to get a sip of water, but no more than that. There's no time to talk because you don't have time to even lift in the first place. So this is what I like to do: cut down the recovery time, use time under tension, and then use moderate weight. That way you combine these three things together and you have never had a better workout than this, I guarantee you. But anyway, if you like workouts like this or you like information like this, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what kind of problems you're having with your workouts, or any recommendations that I have on certain body parts or certain lifts. I can help you out with all of that. So until next time, talk to you guys later. Peace.